Video is going to be a review of the Japanese pole saw. Right over here, I've got a pole saw. I think it's about 10 inches or something like that I picked up from Harbor Freight. I've built a doghouse with it, or I'm building a doghouse with it, and it's done fairly well. It's my first time using a pole saw. It might be a little bit dull, I'm not really sure. Most of the doghouse is done, but I wanted to, I'm enjoying building so much. The reason I bought a pole saw is I used the circular saw on the wood and it went all over the place because I don't know what I'm doing. And I used the jigsaw on the wood, and even with a guide it went off center and kind of messed up the cut. So I got this razor saw and the Japanese pole saw, and everything stayed on line. I was amazed. So now I'm kind of excited about doing some woodworking. I thought it would be neat to get a better saw and see if I get a better cut, and I'm going to be comparing the two. This is about $10. I think this is about $25, $28. I believe it just says razor saw, but I think when I bought it online, it was the Gabauchi or Gabuchi or something like that, straight from Japan. So what I'm doing is the doghouse that I've built with the pole saw from Harbor Freight, and first test is going to be cutting a 2x2 piece of wood, which is really 1.5 by 1.5, and I'm just going to see how it does on the cut. Sorry about the lighting over here. I'd show you how to use these pole saws, but my video is about a beginner that has no idea what he's doing, comparing the two saws, my feelings, my opinions, my results, and what I think of it. So hopefully this is going to help other people who are beginners that don't know what they're doing. And if my video helps you out, you know the routine: thumbs up, subscribe, or a like. If there's something you want me to review, if I can get a hold of it, I will. I'll do a review for you. If you want to share this on a woodworking site or any other site, that would help me out a lot. So time to do some cutting. First I'm going to cut with this saw and see what type of a cut I get on the 2x2. Even though I've used this on the plywood, I'm going to cut it for the sample, for the video. And then I'm going to use this, and we'll see what happens. This is going to be the Harbor Freight saw. Kind of awkward for me. I'm on a balcony right now with board is supported on 3 paint cans. I've got a lot of light shadow from the sun, and I got the dog over here. Hold on. Right, sorry about that. And it already looks like it's off on an angle, but it isn't according to the square. So most important thing is I'm just going to give you my opinion. I'm doing a light saw right now. I know some people say angle it this way, don't angle it this way. Not sure it really matters. Again, it cuts on the pull. And the nice thing is, it's always on the line. It's always accurate. Of course, I'm looking on the front over here, and it doesn't look that perfect. So, let's see. Let's try doing an upward cut. A little easier. It's binding now, and it could be binding because the blade is not sharp anymore, or who knows, or my technique, or the wood. Yeah, it's binding. If I had this clamped down, it probably would not be a problem. And even with all of that, let's see if I can get this on the camera. Look at how smooth that is. Absolutely smooth and perfect. A little bit of chewed up edge over there, mostly because of my technique of not having it clamped down, but the wood absolutely perfect and smooth on both sides. So now I'm going to try the other saw. First time using this saw. It's the Gyokucho 372. Let's get this thing adjusted properly. And alright, here we go. Much longer saw, so it's going to be a little awkward for me. It's an extremely long handle. So, that'll be able to give you an honest opinion of what I think of it and how good it cuts. So, here we go. It's really weird again. I'm looking at this line, and it just looks like this line, unless it's my eyes or my glasses, this looks like the line is totally off. It doesn't look like it's even. But I can tell you right off, there's a big difference already between the feel of this handle and the feel of this long handle. I notice a difference, and I haven't even done any cutting. Much more stability. This feels like, sorry about the airplanes, this feels like it's much finer teeth. Definitely, look at the difference. So I'm expecting a much smoother cut with this. No binding yet. It is a lot easier to control with the long handle. It's much sharper. It doesn't look like it's cutting on line, but that's probably because my line is off. Very possible. Still no binding. Very little splintering on the ends. Extremely smooth, very smooth. Very smooth over here. Ow. Alright, so let's back out a little bit. Harbor Freight. I didn't realize it at the time, but those are some pretty rough cuts compared to this. Very smooth cuts. Lots of binding with this. This is when I put my finger against it, it's kind of grabbing on the teeth. When I put my fingers against this, ow. Very little grabbing on the teeth. This is about $10. And again, it could be worn out and dull after a week. This is brand new, and the leverage with the handle makes the job easier. You can unscrew this and replace the blade if you need to without buying a whole new unit. If you don't want to spend the money, this is good. If you want to spend the money, this is much better, and you'll get a much better cut and more enjoyable to work with. And so my review is totally worth the money. I love this thing. I'm very happy with it. The Gyokucho 372. 5 stars, totally a great saw.